Let's start in supported fish and work our way up to some more active things. That way our bodies get a little bit of chilled out time. So if this pose is newer, or if you're working with props that are different than what you normally would have at a studio, you can use a block and a bolster if your bolster is quite firm. You can use many pillows. You're just looking for a ramp shape where your head will be higher than the rest of your body. And then you'll slide your body up to the edge and lean your body back. Now, if when you lean back, your head is tilting backwards, try to bring your chin towards your chest. And if that doesn't work, if you need more support, you can tuck a towel underneath your head just to support the chin, drawing gently towards the chest. Your arms can be out. Your feet can be long. Or if it feels better on your back, you can knock your knees together. Some folks like to do butterfly feet here, but for the sake of right now, let's try to keep this as easeful as physically possible so you can feel your body as it is right now. Allowing the breath to come in and allowing the breath to go out. And it might take a few moments, a few fidgets to settle into the shape, but once you feel your body land, let your breath come in through your nose or your mouth, whatever's more comfortable today. And with your exhale, clear it out through your mouth. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing the shape to be a place that allows us to let out some heat and feel the body in a restful place. If you're really observing your body and your nervous system down regulating, finding that sense of easefulness in a felt way, stay here as long as you like or as long as you can be with that sensation. Otherwise, we'll take 5 more conscious breaths here. Let each one get a little longer so the exhale takes up a little bit more space each time. At the conclusion of that 5th breath for you, Bring your feet so that your feet are at hips width distance. And you can walk your feet closer or take them slightly farther apart to allow your left ankle to cross over your right thigh. So setting up figure 4, but still with the upper body in this ramp shape. The left leg will cross over, but for some bodies, if there's tension, you might need to slide the right foot farther away. If you're looking for more sensation, you might try sliding the right foot closer. We can be perfectly still here and feel plenty, or you might explore a gentle rocking from side to side. So you can use the foot that's on the ground, the right foot, excuse me, to gently shift your weight or let your pelvis sway side to side. You're welcome to stay here as long as it feels good. If your body is interested, you can take it into figure 4 twist, dropping the whole shape over to the right. Yep. So still allowing your upper body to be in this ramp shape. You can adjust the placement of your left knee, or excuse me, of your right foot and right knee as the supporting action to change the sensation through the left side of your hip. If it feels better to keep with the rocking, you can stay with the rocking, of course. We'll take about 10 more breaths here in the static or the rocking, up to you. Let your breath come in and your breath go out. We'll take another breath in and a full breath out. Now you can stay right here as long as it makes sense, or to transition, you'll gently bring the left knee in towards your chest. You can extend the left leg out for a moment to reset the left knee, but then let your left knee drop on top of your right knee. Your weight will shift into your right elbow and your left hand will come over as well. Slide your right hip up against the edge of the ramp shape and you'll turn into bolster twist. Now, because this ramp was originally set up with your back line in mind, you might need to adjust the height so that your head can remain above your chest. You might need more support or less support. Take a moment to adjust as needed. So let your shoulders soften. So let your body soften. Some folks talk about tenderness in the low back. And if that's something you experience here, you can try stacking the left knee on a pillow or a rolled up blanket or a towel even to allow the hips to be relatively level from right, stacked on top of each other, that is. If one hip, the left hip is sort of sliding forward, that can feel a little less comfortable in the low back. And allow your eyes to close or flutter in the half open, half closed space. If you have the ability to take your elbows a little wider, your body might be able to release just a little more. This might be a good place to stay, especially if your shoulders are needing some rest and recovery. And stay here and let the weight be more on the chest side of the bolster. When you feel done, you'll press down into your hands to sit up. Now, take a moment to bring the left knee into the crook of the right foot. So it's a pinwheel shape. Sometimes I call it fallen deer or deer pose. That's what it's called in yin style yoga. From here, you'll slide your right hand behind the line of your right hip. Press down into your right hand and down into your legs, and you'll lift your hips up, lift your left hand up, breathe in. And with your exhale, let yourself come down. We'll do that twice more. So, yeah, there you go. Take a moment to get situated. Right hand behind you, press down, lift up, inhale. And with your exhale, shift the hips back to the floor. One more time. Inhale, rooting through the right hand. Lift the hips up, take the left arm high. And this time as you exhale, slowly come down. You can stay here upright or take a little fold, bringing your chest over the center line of your pelvis, over the right leg. So it's sort of like a variation of pigeon when you fold forward. If that's bothersome on your left knee, don't fold as far forward. that's bothersome on either knee, don't fold this far forward. And we'll take a breath in and a breath out. Again, looking for the lengthened exhale. 3 more breaths. So your inhale is as long as you can make it. And your exhale is just a tiny bit longer. When you feel complete with the pose, you'll walk your hands back in towards you. You can shift your hands behind your back to bring the soles of both feet to the floor. And just let your knees rock from side to side for a moment, noticing what's different between the right side and the left side. As you're rocking, you can bring your back line back towards the ramp shape. In preparation for the second side, maybe you can keep the rocking action going as you lower back down. When the rocking action feels complete, pause and center with the soles of your feet on the ground. And adjust the location or proximity of the feet in relation to the hips to make figure 4 on the right happen. So the right foot crosses over. And play with the location of your left foot in relation to your hips. Decide how close the foot feels good, or if it's too intense and you can slide the foot away. For some bodies, it just won't get any farther. It won't get any closer. So adjust your body as it needs to be. You can stay still or start the rocking action again. Looking for this gentle physical action. Noticing its cooling or easeful effect. When you feel complete with the rocking, you let everything settle over to the left. And you might need to adjust the location of your left foot in relation to your hips again. Once you find the shape that's right for you, pause. Settle into that steady breath pattern. So you're feeling your inhale and the max capacity for breath that you can. And you're feeling your exhale. Slow and cooling. Let your breath come in. And when it's ready, let it go out. This pose can have a yin-like quality of feeling the connective tissue, the fascial tissue, slowly sort of unravel. And if you're still having that sensation, stay as long as it feels good or relevant. When it's time to move or transition, you can press down into your left hand for support. You'll extend your right leg out to let the knee reset, and then bend the right knee to tap it on top of the left. With some weight in your left hand, bring the right hand over to the left. You'll press down into both hands to slide your hips back up against the edge of the bolster. Then slide the left hand to the other side of the bolster. Setting up bolster twist. And again, if you need something between your knees, a rolled up towel or something, grab what you need. I'm finding lately that my belly needs a little bit more space because of the baby, but sometimes the chest gets in the way for folks, and you can adjust by adding some extra cushion or support with the towel here. This is just one option that's been working for folks lately. If you take a towel and roll it so there's a long roll, you can make a little bit of chest support so that your chest isn't getting sort of smashed down. It makes it a little easier to keep the shoulders back. So that's another option. stay here as long as you like. You might find that you're drifting slowly to sleep here, and that is okay. Body needs a little extra rest and recovery in context of super warm days. When your body feels ready to depart this shape, you'll press down into your hands. If you need a glass of water, grab some. And walk your hands in towards you. Now, if there's anything between your knees, just set it to the side for now. You'll guide your right knee into the crook of your left foot. Slide your left hand behind your left hip. Press down into the hand and your shins and lift the right arm up. Breathe in at the top and slowly come back down. We'll do that twice more again. Root into the left hand. Sweep the hips and right arm high. And then lower slowly back down. Inhale, the right arm comes up. And this time as you exhale, settle your hips. Realign yourself. And as you feel ready, you'll bring your hands in front of your pelvis. Now, because the hips are doing asymmetrical things, it might not be possible for the right hip to drop all the way. You'll stay here upright, or you can continue to fold forward if that makes sense for your body. Take a breath in and a breath out. When you're ready to be done, you'll walk your hands back in towards you. You can take your hands underneath your knees to help lift them up. Let your hands come behind you again, and you'll start that rocking sensation or motion. If it is okay on your shoulders, press down into your hands. You can turn the fingertips out for more support. Press down into your hands, press down into your feet. Lift your hips up for reverse table. Take a breath in at the top. And as slowly as you can muster, let your hips come back down. Now you can return to the rocking. If it feels better on your wrists to be on fists, you can try it one more time with the fists instead of wrists. Press down, lift your hips up, breathe in. And with your exhale, come back down. Here, we'll find ourselves a comfortable seat. So you can sit on a bolster, on a block, but do let your pelvis be elevated. It'll make the transition easier in a little while. Let your heels stack and your hips be higher than your knees. Okay. Sitting up tall, set the shoulders over the hips, breathe in. And breathe out. The other nice thing about sitting on something tall is that you can find the exact place where your belly tries to go forward and the exact spot where your belly tries to round back. So you can play with this as a sort of cat-cow, as an exploration of all of the off-center places. Inhaling and arching up. Exhaling and rounding back. And notice as you make this motion happen in your body, there's an arch and a round, but also notice what's changing in your bum, in the contact that your bum has with whatever you're sitting on. So the tailbone, or it's really the pelvis, it's the bottom of the pelvis, shifts as you adjust your spine. Your pelvis moves in kind. And this rocking action can help you find the spot where both sit bones are settled, but without sliding forward or sliding back. So you can continue your rocking until you feel both sides of your bum evenly rooted. Then take a breath in and a breath out. Okay. Inhale, your arms go up, straight up. At the top, notice if your chest is pulled forward and hug the low ribs gently back. If you have the ability to bring your palms together, press the palms or fingertips into one another. Breathe in. With your exhale, keep the action in the arms and let the shoulder blades settle down your back. Now, if this doesn't work, you can keep the arms out and do it differently, but still looking to bring the shoulders down. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more inhale here. And with your exhale, release your hands down to your lap. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through the mouth. This time, instead of lifting the arms, just lift the shoulders. Breathe in. And with your exhale, roll them back, together, and down. And you might notice, similarly to our arch and rounding action, that as you move the shoulders, the rib cage tries to move as well. So we'll try to stabilize the rib cage as you lift up. Breathe in. Roll the shoulders back, keeping the rib cage steady. Hug in through the elbows and draw it down. We'll do that twice more. Breathe in, lift the shoulders. And breathe out, roll them back. Together and down. Inhaling. Exhaling. A few more on your own. Noticing if there's a spot in the rotation that gets sticky or feels like you can't move freely. Doing these things evenly on both sides might expose an asymmetry from right to left. Take a breath in and a breath out. The next time your shoulders land down your back, bring your hands to your hips and your elbows will come out a little wider. Been playing with a lot of shoulder integration lately because that seems to be an area of need. So on your inhale, let your elbows come forward and you'll have a little cave form in your upper chest. Yep. When you exhale, roll the shoulders back, try to bring the elbows towards one another. All the while still stabilizing in the rib cage. So inhale forward and you'll round in the upper back. Exhale, roll it back, hug the elbows in. 3 more. Inhaling and exhaling. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. And exhale. One more time for good measure. Breathe in. And breathe out. Release your hands to your lap for a moment and just be with your shoulders, noticing what you feel and what your experience is there. Breath comes in, breath goes out. Now, however you're sitting, change the foot that's in front. We'll set up a gentle side stretch. So, anchor again through your hips if that requires a sway from side to side or a gentle forward and backwards movement. Find that neutrality in the pelvis again. This time, you'll inhale your arms out and up. Overhead, use your left hand to catch your right wrist. Extend up and gently lean to the left. That'll look like you're doing the opposite for me if you're in a Zoom square. And from here, take a breath in and let your rib cage come a little forward, like an arch through the upper back. And as you exhale, hollow the low ribs back. So we'll do that 3 times here. Inhale, a subtle arch. Exhale, a little round. You'll notice that it changes the sensation in your side body. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale back up to center with neutral arms. And with your exhale, we'll pause with the hands back down on the legs, just resting for a moment, noticing the distinctions between right and left, side waist and side waist. Breath comes in, breath goes out. With your next inhale, sweep your arms out and up. This time, use the right hand to catch your left wrist, extend up and lean. So this time, the arms go to the right. Now, as you're leaning, you can inhale to arch and exhale to round. And it's not the deepest cat-cow you've ever done, but it's just enough to notice how the little shifts of your upper abdominals change the sensation along your sideline. Inhaling and exhaling. If there's a spot that feels good to linger in, you can stay. Or pause in the center place between the arc and the round and breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale, the arms come back up. The upper body finds neutral. And with your exhale, let your hands come back down to your hips. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Right. If staying seated seems right to you, you can stay and have a moment of seated meditation. Otherwise, you can bring your knees up one at a time, using the support of whatever you're sitting on. Now, if you know that you like to have blocks handy, you can bring a block or 2 in front of you if you have them available. And you might even lean your weight into the blocks so you can shift forward and back until you can let the weight shift into your feet. Lift the hips and toe heel your feet into a wide-legged stance. So coming to this not quite upright position, let your hips take a gentle sway from side to side and move your feet into a wide-legged forward fold position. So you want to find a 3 or 4 foot stance. Let your breath come in and your breath go out. You can stay here with this, or we'll do some arm circles. So on an inhale, lengthen out through the spine, letting the hips and shoulders be in line with a nice long spine in between. On an exhale, you'll bring your right hand to your hip and turn to the right. Inhale, the right arm reaches up, forward, and down. Exhale, shift the left hand to the hip, turn to the left. Inhale, the left arm high. Exhale, forward and down with the left hand. Right hand will come to the right hip, turn to the right. On an inhale, you'll sweep the right arm high, reach it forward and down. With your exhale, left hand finds left hip and you turn. Inhale, the left arm reaches up and open. And you can keep going in that breath pattern or change it to meet your needs. So if you would like to stay a little longer in one shape, maybe just turn. You can stay for a whole breath count in either of these places. Or even take a little longer and lengthen back out in the middle. It's okay to decide to move slower or a little bit faster as the body likes, or as the body is asking for. But just make sure it's a conscious choice. Sometimes we get into the habit of rushing, of needing to get to the next thing. Let this motion be easeful and free from expectation. Even if the breath doesn't line up with how I cued it. When you feel complete with this action, you can steady yourself in the forward fold, letting your head hang, shake it yes and no. If you need the support of your hands, you can keep them on blocks or drop them to the floor. Let your breath come in and your breath go out. All right. We'll take one last long spine here. Hands can be on the floor or on blocks. Let your weight shift a little bit more into your hands and toe heel your feet back towards a Malasana squat pose. So feet at roughly mats with distance on the short way. And you'll drop your hips down into a squat with support under you. So you can sit on blocks or on your bolster, on your pillows, whatever's handy. Take your arms in front and let your arms press back into your legs. And as your arms are pressing back into your legs, start to press your legs back into your arms. So there's this sense of activation between those two places, or a conscious meeting of the same level of resistance in both places. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath in, breath out. And if you've lost that sense of tension or connection between the 2 points, press the arms back into the legs again, press the legs back into the arms again for this last breath in And this last breath out. You'll slide your hands to your knees, toe heel your feet towards one another, and take whatever is under your bum off by either sliding off or just moving it, whatever works easiest. We'll set up for Shavasana, although we have one more thing to do beforehand. Now, if you'll want a bolster underneath your thighs for Shavasana, or Stonehenge, a bolster with some blocks underneath it, you can preemptively set that up now. Just get it roughly where you want it to be, towards the leg side of your mat. And then, okay. If you'd like to create a neck pillow, you can do so with a rolled up towel, and just have it ready to tuck under your neck. Perfect. Now, you'll sit side saddle. Walk your hands back to wherever your head is going, so whether that's onto a pillow or just flat onto the floor. You'll thread your arm under and roll yourself onto your back, taking care just to check that the bolster is at the right distance away from you and that the neck has the right amount of support. But once you're sure that everything's just so, you'll bring your knees into your chest. And slowly invite your knees to drop towards your armpits. Take a breath in. You can stay here drawing the knees out if that feels nice. It can feel like an inner groin stretch similar to butterfly. And if that feels nice, you can move the knees more in line with the hips. Or you can shift this into happy baby, turning the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Now, happy baby pose will be our last formal shape, but you can take it with movement, extending one leg out, or if you're playing with that slight variation of frog or butterfly, you can let the knees move forward, away from your chest, and draw them back. Wherever you go and however you choose to move for these last few moments, notice the impact it has on your pelvis and the low back. Exploring what feels like the best position to really rest in. When you found the spot that feels best for the lumbar spine, the low back, you'll extend your legs out for Shavasana. Try to maintain it. The legs go out, the arms go to wherever is comfortable. Sometimes that means out, sometimes that means on your chest. As your body settles into Shavasana, you can soften your eyes. You don't have to breathe in any particular way. Breath default to just happening. And if for some reason a traditional Shavasana does not feel comfortable on your low back, you're welcome to make a change so that for these last few moments of rest, you can really be easeful. You can guide your feet to the floor and knock your knees together, or even come into side lying if that would be better for your body today. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. From the back line of your body, bring the soles of your feet to the floor one at a time. Take a breath in and a breath out. When your back body is ready, you'll roll to your side, pausing there, still resting. Beginning to feel the breath of the body waking back up. From your side, you'll press down into your hands to make your way to a comfortable seat. And you can find something to sit on if you have it handy. Excuse me. Sit yourself up tall. Reconnect to your pelvis first. Take a moment to find the low rib connection again. Breathe in and breathe out. On an inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Press your palms or fingertips together over the top of you, and as slowly as you can muster, draw them down to center chest. Bow your chin to your chest, acknowledging yourself for getting to your mat, for making this time, even on this hot, hot day. Invite a full breath in through the front and back line of your body. With your exhale, let it be audible. Make a little sound. Bow your chin to your chest, honoring your body for the time, the practice, honoring your mind, participating in the union of body and mind that's created when we sit and consciously move in this way. May all beings be peaceful. Thank you for sharing practice.